Hello everyone, and peace of Christ to all of you. I hope my voice is coming good and clear. Please let me know if you have any problem from your side to hear me. Today our topic is about if the Quran if it is a book of confusion or not. Um, Somebody sent me an article, and this article says, confused by the Quran, so was I. And supposedly this is a story of somebody who converted to Islam, and obviously she is a woman, and she claimed that the Quran in the beginning was a little bit confusing for her, but after a while the Quran became so clear. And she said, and I'm going to quote what she said in this article, and you know I don't trust article written Muslim website because they fabricate a lot of articles. It's not even exist, even the people aren't exist. I was raised by deeply religious Catholic mother. I noticed that most of people who they say they converted to Islam, they are Catholic. Now, I assure you that when you hear the word Catholic, it's mean it is a lie. The Muslims, they have something, it's called the obsession with the Catholic, because they believe the Catholic are the enemies of Islam. And when they say that a Catholic converted to Islam, is like saying God became a Muslim. It's like you are destroying Christianity. I mean, like even the Catholic, I mean, you believe it? This is why you see always the Muslims speaking about somebody is a Catholic. Imagine, brother, a Catholic, he converted to Islam. So I was raised by a deeply religious Catholic mother who put me through 9 years of Catholic school, and etc. Blah blah blah. Okay, I stood, knelt, I said my way through the church every single Sunday and often Friday. So let the beginning of my journey as a Muslim. I was more familiar with the Bible than the Quran. Not so much. All right, today not so much. You can read. I mean, let me make the text bigger just to save ourselves from wasting the time. All right, we make it bigger now. All right, now let us see what make this previously Catholic, as she claimed, to be a Muslim. You see, I'm going to read the reasons for you, and you will see how silly and how stupid what those people are writing in their articles, which is proven to us that it is absolutely false. You will see here, let us go back. I have always found the Bible confusing. It does not have any recognizable plot point or even timeline. Are you sure? I remember the one is talking is comparing about what? Comparing between the Bible and the Quran. You know, you see, if we want to go right now and find where the creation happened, we will find it in the book of Genesis, which is in the beginning of the Bible. So the Bible is coming with the time of line, you idiot. What are you talking about? I do not need to look which books. I know exactly which book speaking about the creation, what happened, etc. The names, the children's. Even the Bible is giving you the names of the names of the names of the names of children of Adam one by one. Where I can find those in the Quran. I mean, when people they make articles, obviously, which is a false article, it's very easy to get them busted. If I go right now and try to find where is the creation verses in the Quran, I will find it scattered all over the Quran. Which chapter is the chapter of the creation of the Quran? Where I can find the creation? I will, as an example, if I type here, let us switch to Arabic. I just type the word 6 in the search engine. All right, and now it is Allah, it is your Lord who created for you the sky and the earth in 6 days. Okay, this is which chapter? Chapter 7 verse number 54. But what did chapter 7 verse number 54 have to do with the rest with the chapter? Let us click at it. I will go back and I will show you in English. What this verse before it, and you can open the Quran yourself, huh? And the verse before it, and the verse before it, and the verse before it, and the verse before it have to do with the creation of the earth and the 6 days of creation? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Let us go to the English. All right. Your Lord is the one who created the earth and the day, etc. Blah 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 blah. You know, in 6 days. All right. So here the creation. This is the first time the Quran is speaking about the 6-day creation in the Quran. Okay. What the verse before it have to do with the verse after it? Nothing. What the verse before it have to do with the verse after it? Nothing. What the verse before it have to do with the verse after it? Nothing. So what do you mean timeline? I go right now to the book of Genesis and you will see everything have a timeline. Let us give a different example, not about the creation. When the Quran count the names of the prophets of God, which names the Quran stole anyway from our Bible? All right. Let us go down just to give you an example of the madness. Okay. Oh, Lord have mercy. I mean, sometimes stupidity is amazing. All those verses in the front of us, they are verses speaking about prophets of God. You see, all of them. But I want to give you an example how this Quran work. Oh, let us do this. Hold on. All right. All those verses, you can stop, you can pause the video and you will see that all of them they have. But I want to show you some example verses or example about those verses, how stupid the Quran is. Let us see here. Let us go to page number 2. Look like. All right. Look, this website is not helping me. Let us go by the verses then. All right. Let us take this one first. If we take this one first here, chapter 6, verse number 84. By the way, all the other verses, I'm not avoiding them, but all of them. But I'm trying to show you how the things is messed up. Chapter 6, verse number 84. And as you see, this is the Muslim translation. We gave him Isaac and Jacob, all three guided. Okay, hold on. Who is talking here? Allah. About who? About Abraham. What is Ishmael? I mean, when I speak about timeline, shouldn't I speak about the timeline? Isn't it Ishmael is the elder in the family between his brothers? So what do you mean we gave him Isaac and Jacob? Well, what does that mean? What is the guy who is the older? And you know, in the Middle Eastern tradition, the oldest in the family, actually he is the most important person. So why Allah here he dropped the name of Ishmael? The answer is very simple. At this point, Muhammad was being hypocrite to the Jews, and he knew that the Jews don't like to mention Ishmael a lot because he's not important for them. He is not their grandfather. As simple as that. So Muhammad is being a hypocrite to the Jews. So now he want to mention to the Jews what is important to the Jews, because he was trying to convince the Jews that he's a Jew. But when the Jews did not agree, then Muhammad, he don't care no more. So here you will see that we gave him Isaac and Jacob. All the three are guided, which mean Abraham and Jacob and Isaac are okay. What about Ishmael? This verse, according to Muslim, Ishmael is a prophet too, and he is the one who built the Kaaba with Abraham. Let us say rebuild the Kaaba, because supposedly the one who built the Kaaba first time, it was Adam and his wife Eve. So, and then before him we guided Noah. So between Abraham and Noah there is nobody. That's it. Before Abraham, Noah. Okay. And among his progeny, David and Solomon. Like what? And Job and Joseph and Moses and Aaron. Okay, hold on. Who is older? Aaron, Moses, who's Joseph? And if we ask the Muslims now, who is David? Who is Solomon? Who is Job? They don't know. They have no idea. Where in the Quran it says what? Who is Job? Like here it says Jacob. Okay, Jacob and Isaac, supposedly according to the verse here, they are according to the verse here, they are the children of Abraham. Now please introduce to me David and Solomon and Job and Joseph and Moses and Aaron. And are they coming in order? Is Aaron after Moses, and Moses after Joseph, and Joseph after Job, and Job after Solomon, and Solomon after David, etc.? So where is the order we are talking about? So when somebody speak to us that in the and then he's jump and Zechariah and John and Jesus and Elias, what Elias have to do with Jesus now? Jesus and Elias? I mean, what is the place of Elias here? And what is the connection between all of those, and what is before and what is after? Nothing. Why those names are listed there, nobody knows. If you go in the Bible, you will find the names, the children's, what they did, even the wives, even what they do in their life, what they speak, even private conversation. I mean, it is coming in a great details. Here there's nothing. It's a guy trying to make Arabic music, making a song, you know, and we gave him Jacob, and we gave him Isaac, and we gave him etc. And then at the end he have to add a word which fit with that, with the tone, so he add whatever, and that make the meaning is lousy, because there's no meaning. There's no meaning of those verses. And the same can goes for all other verses in the Quran. There is no meaning. Chapter 11 verse number 71. Read the chapter. Surah Hud. What Surah Hud? Who is Hud? And if we want to read about Abraham, which chapter is going to be the one speaking about Abraham? The story is all over the Quran, scattered all over. Which chapter we will read about Jesus? Is it chapter 19? Okay, we are in chapter 19 right now, verse number 49, but the verse is not speaking about Jesus, but this is supposedly the chapter of Mary. Okay, chapter of Mary. What does this have to do with Isaac and Jacob? Nothing. What is the connection? Is that the timeline? No. And you know, when you write a book and you don't have a timeline, that will create a confusion. Why you are inserting the name of Jacob, and you know, like there is like, are you referring to a prophecy? That will be acceptable then, but there is nothing here, just mentioning names for no reason. When he turned away from them and from those whom they worship beside Allah, we bestowed on him Isaac and Jacob. But this is in the chapter which is about Jesus. Okay, what does this have to do with Jesus then? And didn't you mention already about Abraham in different story? If we go and search about Abraham in different story or different verses, we will find the following, as just as an example, just to show you the madness of this book. The story of Abraham appear in tons of places in the Quran, but we will find that there's no connection of all those stories about Abraham. It's like Abraham in every chapter is different person. As an example here, chapter 6 verse number 78. But remember, we just heard the story of Abraham in chapter 19 verse number 49, and it's different story. Here you will see that Abraham is a guy who worship the moons, the stars, the sun, the planet, and he worshiped them and he called them Akbar. Abraham is an idol worshipper and he is a pagan according to the Quran. And then he said, when the night covered him over, he saw the star. Remember, he's talking about, we show Abraham the power of the laws. What Abraham? What show him the power of the laws? How you showed him? Where is the story of showing Abraham? How you showed Abraham? Nobody knows. What is the conversation between Allah and Abraham? When you showed him, how you showed him? We don't know. Did he send Jibreel? Where is Jibreel? Why the story of Jibreel appear only to explain to Muhammad, but Abraham is not? Where is Jibreel here? We showed him the power and the laws. Okay, what law? How you showed him? We do not know. Of the heavens and the earth. So Abraham was given the law of the heaven and the earth. What is the law of Abraham? I want a Muslim to introduce that to me. Any Muslim can introduce us a book. It's called the Book of Abraham, which is contain all the law of earth and heaven. Is that the Torah? That's madness. Then he continue, that he might understanding have, etc. And look how Abraham instead, how he understood things. When the night covered him over, he saw a star. He said, this is my Lord. Abraham worshiping stars. But when it set, he said, I love not those who said. I mean, look at the logic and look at the timeline. So Abraham, he saw a light in the star in the sky, and obviously it's a star. So he said, this is my Lord, this is God. He worshiped the star. The morning come, the star is gone. So he said, I don't like those who disappear. I mean, this is silly and this is stupid, because you are telling me as if Abraham, he never know and he never saw that the stars disappear at night. Where is the timeline? How this happened? For how long Abraham was worshiping star? Is that one night? Is it 1 year? Is it 1 century? What is that? Nothing. Then he continued. Then when he saw the moon rising in splendor, he said, this is my Lord. Okay, so now Abraham, he moved from worshiping stars to worship the moon. Good for you, Abraham. But when the moon set, he said, unless my Lord guide me, I shall surely be among those who go astray. Look how stupid this verse is. How you are worshiping the moon, and then you decide not to worship the moon, and then you are asking your Lord to guide you. Who is your Lord? I mean, this is stupid. Unless my Lord guide me. But now you left the moon worshiping, you left the star worshiping. Now he jumped to different Lord. Look at the verse after it. When he saw the sun rising in splendor, he said, this is my Lord, this is the greatest. The fact this, it doesn't say that. He said, this is my Lord, this is Akbar. The Muslim falsely translate the word Akbar as the greatest. The fact it is about size. Akbar size and power and etc. The moon, the sun is powerful. So this is Akbar. The value is Akbar. The power is Akbar. Everything about it is Akbar. So now we start worshiping the sun. Okay, but how this happened? And why Abraham jumping from worshiping star after star after? What is the difference between worshiping a star and the sun? Nothing. I mean, isn't it this is a sun? Isn't it this is a star too? That's stupid. Look like Allah do not know that this is a star anyway. So he jumped from worshiping star to worshiping star, but he left the first star because the first star disappeared. Okay, don't Abraham, he never noticed that the sun already disappearing at night. So why he is doing the same mistake again? But when the sun set, he said, "Oh my people, I am indeed free from your guilt." Okay, so what made him leave this cult worshiping the sun? Because the sun set. Okay, this is madness. You know already the sun set. Aren't you a man? Like, is Abraham at this day, he is first day in life, he is a 1 day old baby, and he just noticed that the sun set. So when somebody speak about that Quran have a timeline and confusion is free, this is stupid, this is madness, this is garbage. The one who provide us the book, it's called the Quran, where we can find his story in the Quran. There's a chapter in the Quran, it's called Muhammad. Okay, who is Muhammad? I challenge any Muslim to tell me who is Muhammad from the Quran. Not a single verse in the Quran tell us who is this guy. Do you believe it? Or what we know, that he is a prophet and all the prophets before him die, which is a contradiction for the verse in the Quran speaking about Jesus was not killed and he's alive. Allah took him to heaven. وَمَا مُحَمَّدٌ إِلَّا رَسُولٌ قَدْ خَلَتْ مِنْ قَبْلِهِ الرُّسُلُ. The first time the name of Muhammad mentioned in the Quran is in chapter 3 verse number 144. But remember, chapter 3 in the Quran is not chapter 3. As you know, the Muslim, they change the location of the verses, and here we go again to different madness. When we speak about timeline, which is not exist in the Quran, and then we find that even the Quran they have today, Muslims don't have the original Quran. They have in order of what it's called the shorter first, the longer first, the shorter then the longest, and then the shorter than the longest, whatever. I mean, it's a madness. There is no order. The Quran is not written according to revelation, according to Muhammadic claim. If we go to the revelation, we will find that the revelation have nothing to do with the order anyway. If I search right now, you can go, save me from doing this. You can go search for Quran according to revelation. You will see that the Quran according to revelation have nothing to do with anything. But anyway, the chapter of Muhammad, if we try to find who is Muhammad, where we can find who is Muhammad? Nowhere. Those are the verses mentioned the name of Muhammad. 4 verses. 4 verses. Be my witness. Huh? You can search any word too. Here we go. All right. 4 verses. But none of those 4 verses says who is Muhammad. So where is the timeline? Allah have time to tell us about the ant speaking to Solomon and what we will get the benefit of this ant. About the bird and Solomon having a conversation about the woman, she have no hair in her legs. But who is Muhammad? We are talking about the one who brought the message of Islam to all Muslims. But there is nowhere in the Quran speaking about who is he, who is his father. I remember there's a guy, his name Abdullah Green, and he is a convert. He's an African American, or I don't know, maybe African from England. From England. He said the Bible written according to John. John who? Open the edict, open the first book of John. You will see John who. What are you talking about? We know John who. We know Luke who. We know what they do for a living. We know the name of their parents. What are you talking about? I want to ask you now, in the Quran, if we open the Quran is written according to who? Actually, I made a post. One of you, he asked me about something about the Quran was according to who. Let me see if I can find this thing here. Maybe in the image. Let us see, image post. Here we go. You see here in the image, you will see the Quran says, this is an image from the Quran as it is. كتب هذا المصحف. Let us make it big. All right, that's better. كتب هذا المصحف وضبط على ما يوافق رواية حفص. This mushaf written according Hafs bin Sulaiman, the son of Sulaiman, the son of Al-Mughira Al-Asadi Al-Kufi, according to the reading. Look, the Quran, until now they are not talking about Quran as written book, they are talking about recitation. The Quran, this actually it's not even called Quran, it's called Mushaf. Mushaf, it means pages. It's not even a book. So those Mushaf, these pages, written according to the recitation of Hafs, according to the recitation of Asim, according to recitation etc., etc., blah 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 blah, according to Uthman, according to Ali, according to Zayd, according to Muhammad. But none of those, they have a book for them, including Hafs. Who is Hafs? We search about Hafs, we find that Hafs is a fraud, and he was rejected by Muslims for any recitation or any hadith he mentioned. Asim is the same, is a fraud according to Muslims, not according to me. And I made videos about it, and we have debate about it. If you remember, we have a debate in the Titan show. The Titan show, they brought me like 5 Muslims to debate me, and none of them was able to answer. It says in their website, the Muslim website, that Hafs is a fraud. So the Muslim today, they have the Quran according to Hafs, and Hafs is a thief and a fraud according to Muslims. And any report about the Prophet of Islam from Hafs is rejected automatically. His hadith is not even a weak, no, it's rejected, totally rejected, because he's a fraud. So where is the Quran of the Muslims? I mean, according to what the Quran we have today? When somebody says to me the Quran today makes sense for me, makes sense to me, to you about what? Muhammad did not give you the Quran. What is the first verse Muhammad he received from Allah? The Muslim, they say to you Al-Qalam. Okay, where is we can find Al-Qalam? Al-Qalam today is at the end of the Quran. At the end of the Quran. Chapter 96. But this is verse number 1, supposedly. How verse number 1, chapter number 1 became 96? And you are telling me about the Quran is written in order, not like the Bible? That's stupid. That's not only a lie, it is a stupid lie. Any one of you right now can go and open any chapter in the Bible, and you will see how the names of the children of Noah and their children and the children of the children's. I mean, you cannot find any book in the world can give you details as much as these details. In the whole Quran, I cannot find even the father of Muhammad name, his mother name. Who is he? There is nothing. As an example, where is Muhammad coming from? If there is any verse in the Quran speaking about Muhammad is born where, let us try. I mean, I'm going to give it a try. I will type the word Mecca, and in different words I will type the word Becca. Okay. The first house Allah he built, it was the house of Becca. Chapter 3, verse number 96. Do you see it? Becca. Okay. The Muslims today, they worship a house. It exists in a city called Mecca, and this can be found in chapter 48, verse number 24. Until now, no Muslims can tell us what is Becca and what is Mecca. The fact I can tell easy. Both of them is a copy of the name of the temple of Al-Makkah. Becca and Mecca, the word as an Arabic word mean like the place where there's no water, as simple as that. And this alone is enough for us to prove that this is a stupid statement to say that Abraham he built a house there. It is the house of Allah. And at the same time, if we try to find what is Mecca and who is the one who built Mecca, Muslims they have tons of stories about building Mecca. Some stories says it was built by the angels. Some stories says by Adam and Eve. Adam he dig, Eve she cleaned the dirt. I mean, this is what it says. I can show you tons of reference. The Quran speak about Adam, sorry, about Abraham and Ishmael. Never mention Adam, he built in the Mecca. So there is tons of contradiction in the stories of Muhammadan, but Muslims don't complain. You know why? Because they're used to it. So now if we try to find out where is Mecca and what is Mecca and what is Bakka, where we will find the reference of Bakka. If you want to say to me that this is can be found in historian books, well, this is mean your book is short of information. Then you need to, why I need to go and find the historian books when Allah approved no historian? According to Muslims, that this is a perfect book. According to the Quran, according to Allah, you do not need other book. If we go in the Quran, it says, read with me carefully. All those verses about the religion of Islam, but this verse here is very funny and the most stupid verse. I found it in the Quran, chapter 5, verse number 3. This verse says and claim, this day, read with me carefully. Oh, hold on. Okay, this day I perfected your religion. I've perfected your religion for you, completed my favor upon you, and chosen for you Islam as religion. Okay, when Allah he says he perfected the religion, and this is in a verse in the Quran, and then you tell me in order to understand in the verse in the Quran we have to go and read a hadith as an example, or we have to go and read a book of Ibn Kathir, or we have to go and read the book of Jalalain. So what is the perfection? And the same time, if we read Ibn Kathir or Jalalain, are we going to get answers? No. Like let me give an example. You know, the madness of the Quran is beyond imagination. Read with me carefully. Noon wal qalam wa ma yasturun. Okay, I want a Muslim to explain to me what this letter means. A letter in the beginning of the Quran, every Muslim he give you different meaning. And not only that, sometimes even the same scholars give you 10 meaning for the same thing. I will show you. Chapter 68, verse number 1. If you read with me here, it says, and from the narration and his authority Ibn Abbas is the cousin of Muhammad. He said regarding the interpretation of Allah saying Noon. Noon, he says, Allah swear by Noon, which is a whale and that carries the earth in its back, and while it's in water, and beneath which is a bowl, and under the bowl is a rock, and under the rock there is a dust, and none knows what is under the dust save Allah. Thank you very much. I mean, this is knowledge. It's a whale carrying the earth, and you are telling me the Quran makes sense and it's not a book of confusion? How I'm going to know now? I'm sure a Muslim right now he will say to me, there's no way it means that. But this is what your scholar is saying. Not only that, this is the cousin of Muhammad, which Muhammad he prayed to Allah to make him the scholar of the nation. You see, Muhammad did not pray for Ibn Kathir to be a scholar. He did not pray for Jalalain. He prayed for Ibn Abbas, his cousin. And don't tell me Allah did not answer his prayer. That will be a shame, because according to tons of hadith, that Muhammad is the only intercession or intercede, the person who would intercede and Allah accept his intercession. If you say he don't accept his intercession, you are in trouble. So he prayed to Ibn Abbas to make him the scholar of the nation. Ibn Abbas now is giving us the meaning of Noon. Then Ibn Abbas did not even stop here about the whale carrying the earth. He continued. The name of the whale is Luwish, and this is not Luwish Farrakhan for sure. And it is said the name of the name is Lutaya. It says, who says that? I mean, what this? It's and some they say that the name of the bull is Bahamut. Go and search Bahamut. Bahamut is one of the legends of the Arab about a bull. And some they say it is Talahut or Liwana. The whale is in the sea called Adwad. Like what? A second ago you gave us different name for the whale. It was Lawish. Now it is Awad, Adwad. And it's like a small ball in a huge sea. The sea is in a holy hallowed rock, and whereby there is 4,000 cracks, and from each crack water spring go out of the earth. It's also said, this is, remember, this is a book, have no confusion. Remember that. It's also said. What do you mean it's also said? If this is a scholar of the nation of Islam, he's saying it's also said. It's also said. Look how many meaning he give us for a letter. If a letter have all those meaning, what about a verse? It's also said that Noon is one of the names of the Lord. Like what the heck? The Noon is one of the name of the Lord? How this can happen? Since when? Because Ar-Rahman is one of the letters of his name. So why Allah choose this letter out of all the letters? I mean, this is stupid. You can tell desperately they are trying to find a meaning for it. And the reason for this confusion, because Muhammad is a thief. He stole this is from the book of Waraq ibn Nawfal, but he do not know what it does mean. This is why he bring things he throw at them, and he don't explain. Why the Muslim did not ask Muhammad in his lifetime what Noon mean? Because it's not important. Who care? I mean, this idiot, he say whatever he say, we want to make him a prophet. They are a bunch of criminals, outlaw people, and they are, you know, they are savage. They are not really, they don't care for, they're not educated. They don't care. This is why if you read the hadith and the stories, you will find that all of them, they are full of lies. They don't take a shower for maybe a year or two or so. So here they keep talking about maybe, and then look here. And it's also said that Noon is inkwell. Look, what? From a whale to the name of Allah to an inkwell to a bull to a Bahamut, and now it became an inkwell. And it's also said it Noon is an inkwell by the pen. Allah, he swore by the pen. Why Allah swore by the pen? I mean, this is stupid. This pen is made of light, and its height is equal to the distance between the heaven and the earth. And why the pen is so big? Yeah, my brother, the pen is big because Allah is Akbar. Akbar mean bigger. Do you want Akbar to have a small pen? Are you crazy? I mean, how mad, how stupid this madness is. And you are telling me that this book is not a book of confusion? It is with this pen that the wise remembrance, i.e., the guarded tablet, Allah have a tablet. I mean, Islam is not a confusion religion. Allah have a guarded tablet. Why? I challenge any Abdul to tell me why in the world Allah have a tablet. By the way, is it Samsung? Is it Huawei? Is it Apple? Allah have a tablet. Why? You see, if Allah he wrote a tablet and he gave it to Muhammad, I will understand. You know, he writes something to Muhammad. Muhammad is a human, but he wrote a tablet by a pen made from light for himself. Why? And this tablet is guarded between the eyes of the angel Israfil. I mean, should I say anything? And you are telling me that what I learned from all of this now, I'm reading for the last 20 minutes about one letter. What I learned from it? Nothing. What the point? Nothing. What this is about? Nothing. What is Noon? After all this reading, did I get the answer about what is Noon? No. Because it's all is about it's been said. And we can do the same for tons of verses in the Quran. What about this verse as an example? Qaf wal Quran al-Majid. Qaf wal Quran al-Majid. Okay, what Qaf is? Who want to tell me what Qaf? What is that? Qaf, God knows best what he means by this letter. Like what the heck? This is a Jalalain. Let us change. Maybe different scholar. He have an answer. Look at this guy. Look at this idiot. And from his narration, the authority of Ibn Abbas, that he said the interpretation of Allah saying Qaf. Qaf is a letter, by the way, in case you do not know. But in Arabic, when we read the letter by itself, we read it as a word. So Qaf is a letter. He says Qaf is an azure mountain overlooking this world, and the color of the sky takes from it. Allah swear by it. Okay, now we learned something, that there's a mountain surrounding the earth. It's called Qaf. Don't tell me the book is the book of confusion. There's no confusion here. It's clear. There's a mountain around the earth, and the sky is taking the color from it. What's wrong with you? If this is an explanation for a book, I mean, I will be stupid to believe in what is written there and to understand. I mean, this is madness. How I can, what I understand from this? Allah, he says Qaf al-Quran al-Majid. What does that mean? Allah swear by Qaf and he swear by the Quran. Okay, what is Qaf? They don't know. And why he swear by Qaf? Or what about Allah swear by the fig? Here we go. At-Tin wal-Zaytun, chapter 95, verse number 1. Allah swear by the fig and the olive. Why is that? Madness, stupidity. What At-Tin wal-Zaytun? What this guy is talking about? By the fig and the olive and the mount of Sinai. What does that mean? And this city of security, what does that mean? What city? We have indeed created man in the best mold. Okay, what the olive and the fig and the mount of Sinai and the secure city have to do with the creation of the man? What is the connection? No, there's no connection. All this chapter is 8 verses, but none of them make sense. The same about the chapter about, you know, the Al-Qalam. Like if you go to Al-Qalam as an example, the first one Muhammad he received, Al-Qalam. What is the meaning of this verse? Read with me carefully. Read and love. Chapter 96, verse number 4. Proclaim or read. So the confusion started from the first word. Why? For a very simple reason, because the word Iqra, it's mean reading something is written. But the Muslims, as they believe, Muhammad, he was not given a paper to read. So how the Quran says read? So now to fix this issue, to make you more confused, they say proclaim or read. But it cannot be both, because read have different meaning from proclaim. And how he can proclaim and he say I cannot proclaim? I mean, this is stupid. If you read the story about Muhammad, the angel, he said to him read. Muhammad, he said I cannot read, according to the Muslims. So how I mean, if it is proclaim, he should say I cannot proclaim. But the second you say I cannot proclaim, you just said proclaim, and you did. I mean, doesn't make sense. So read in the name of your Lord, created the man out of congealed blood. I mean, this is stupid. The man is created from congealed blood, dead blood. Since when? Who is the stupid doctor who says so and agree? We are created from dead blood. And then he says, and he who taught by the use of the pen, Allah is the one who taught the use of the pen. Are you sure? Abdul, are you sure that Allah is the first one who created the pen? Are you sure? Yes, brother. It says in the hadith. So why you Muslims don't have pens? As I know, it's not you who made the pen. Go and read the history right now. Type in Google who is the first one who created the pen. What's wrong with you? And if Allah, he taught a human being the use of pen, how come he did not taught Muhammad? You see, remember, He here is speaking to Muhammad, and he is telling Muhammad that Allah he taught by the pen, but Muhammad, according to Muslim, do not know how to write, how to read. I mean, we did not even read anything. This is the first message Muhammad received, and it's full of confusion. And after reading all those chapter, what we learn? Nothing. Nothing. What this chapter is teaching? Nothing. I remember here the Quran is speaking about a lion for a forelock. We will drag him from the forelock, a lion's sinful forelock. The Muslim, they say, scientists, they discover that the first side of the brain is where a human being he lie. And they says, how Allah he knew that? You stupid Abdul, what's wrong with you? Allah here is speaking about the hair, not the brain. Do you see what, do you know what forelock mean? Unbelievable. Anyway, so the Quran is a book of confusion, and not me saying that. Even Allah himself, he witnessed to this. If you go here, you will see how Allah himself, he says that this is a book have a great confusion. هو الذي أنزل عليك الكتاب منه آيات محكمات هن أمهات الكتاب وأخر متشابهات. Okay, what does that mean? It is him who sent the book to you in a clear verses, and some verses who no one knows, they are confusing, they are silly, they are stupid, nobody knows what they mean, save Allah. Am I exaggerating in translation? No, read it. Read it. And according to the Quran, those who seek illness, they will take those verses and use them. Okay, why you are making their meaning hiding? I mean, what the point of sending us verses, and the verses nobody knows what they mean, save Allah? What the point? Nothing. And you know, and he's saying here, and those who have illness in their heart, they are going to use them for their own purpose. The purpose of this verse, Muhammad, you do not know how to explain those verses. So he said, okay, well, there's verses in the Quran are very clear, and there's many verses in the Quran, nobody knows what they mean, save Allah. Nobody knows what they mean, save Allah. Which mean all the interpretation in the Quran, or let us say, all the interpretation made by Muslims about the Quran make no sense, because here we go, the Quran itself saying to us, nobody knows what they mean, save Allah. But no one knows its hiding meaning except Allah. So now what we will do? We will call Allah asking for the real meaning. What is the logic and what is the science behind this logic? That we are going to have a book, nobody knows what it means save Allah. That's amazing. Must be astonishing too. And where is this verse? This is in the beginning of the Quran. In the beginning of the Quran, it says that nobody knows what this verse means save Allah. Oh, sorry, not this verse. Many verses in the Quran, nobody knows. Actually, I challenge any Muslim to explain to me any verse in the Quran. As an example, if we take the Quran from the first verse ever written in the Quran we have in our hand today. It's called Al-Fatiha. Right away, the confusion starts. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. How in the world Allah is talking? He say in the name of Allah, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Who is talking? Have you ever imagined I start talking to you, I say in the name of Christian Prince? That's stupid. If you ask the Muslim, they will say to you, this is a prayer. Where it says this is prayer? You see, they came to Jesus, they said to him, how to pray? He said, pray like this, our Father out of heaven. You know the rest. Where in here it says this is how to pray? There's no introduction. Suddenly Allah saying, in the name of Allah. In the name of Allah, who are you? Praise be to Allah. Allah saying praise be to Allah. That's stupid. Then he says, he repeat again, saying the same exact sentence again. Look, The most gracious, most merciful. Again, most gracious, merciful. I mean, obviously, he don't have anything to say. He's out of words. Master of Judgment Day. What does that mean? Thee do we worship, and then we aid we seek. Allah saying that. Allah saying, thee do we worship, and then aid we seek. That's stupid. Show us the straight way. Obviously, Muhammad here, he was trying to copy the prayer of Jesus, which he taught to his apostles, our Father art of heaven. As simple as that. The Christian, they have a prayer. It's called our Father art of heaven. Muhammad, he need a prayer, and this is why you see this is are inserted in the beginning of the Quran. It was inserted violently. Otherwise, it's have no place here. What is this? Is that the first Muhammad verse received? The Muslim themselves, they agree no. So why it's here? So they don't have a prayer like the Christian, and we need a prayer like the Christian. So what we do, we make a prayer like the Christians. If you read the last two verses in this chapter here, you will find that this is very much in match with our Father out of heaven. The thief Muhammad, he needs just to change some words and make it look like it's something new. Thief. He stole your bicycle, he changed the color, but it's the same. Changing the color will not make a difference. What is the chapter in the Quran makes sense? Nothing. Actually, even the Quran, I'm not going to mention how many contradictions in the Quran. You can go to Amazon.com, search for my books, type Christian Prince. I have list of books, and you will find tons of contradictions in this book. How many days Allah create? Oh, hold on. There's one of the Abdul, he posted in the text in the video last 2 days ago. He said the Bible speak about creation of the earth in 6 days. Ha 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 ha, which is equal to 6,000 years. Ha 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 ha. You know, people remind me. If you go in YouTube, like you remember this guy, his name Don't Convert to Islam, right? He was a Muslim for some time, and then he left Islam. You call him Brother Ishmael, I think. This guy, he converted to Islam when he was 16 years old, as I remember, and he was preaching and trying to convert as many as he can of people to Islam. And then when he became a man, became mature, he noticed that he was stupid, literally, especially after he learned how to read Arabic. And this is why I encourage people to learn the language of the devil. You see, this is my language. I'm not saying Arabic is the language of the devil, but I'm here in this point. The Quran is the book of the devil, and if you want really to fight it, you need to learn the language of the devil. This guy, he discovered that this is the book of the devil, but took him a journey almost of 15 years, if not more. A lot of time. And he get baptized. But here you will notice that this guy, if you watch his videos when he was a Muslim, and then when he left Islam and now he is fighting Islam, how confused he was. Everything he was saying before is a total contradiction for what he is saying today. But what is the reason? Are you telling me that this guy, when he was not knowing Arabic, he is not, or let us say he was more educated and more knowledgeable about Islam from a person who spent 16 years as a Muslim and learn Arabic, which is today now when he became a Christian? No way. You know what I mean? So what happened to him? What happened is very simple. The confusion is gone. In the beginning of his lifetime, he was a kid, he was teenage, he's surrounded by Muslims. They told him the Quran teach there is only one God. So what if there is one God? There's a church in San Francisco, they worship the devil and they believe he's the only God. The old Egyptian believe in one God, the Sabian they believe in one God. There's tons of religion believe in one God. So, and you know, the idea of having one God or 20 gods, what is the point? Stupid. Because Christian believe in one God, Trinity is not about many gods. Trinity is about one God. The Jews believe in one God. So, but let us say, for the sake of argument, the Hindus, their religion is true, huh? And they have, let us say, a million gods. So, if there's a million God, there's a million God. What we can do about it? So, speaking about like Islam is the only religion teach the monotheism, this is a big fat lie. There's no monotheism in Islam. Islam worship a God they don't know, and a man they don't even know. His name is Muhammad. Who is Allah? They don't know. What Allah mean? They don't know. Who is Muhammad? They don't know. All what they knew, that some Muslims written about Muhammad that he is a son of a man, his name is Abdullah, which is impossible. Because if Muhammad father was a pagan, he don't believe in Allah, how his name is Abdullah? Abdullah means the slave of Allah. Literally the black slave of Allah. The word abd, always in Arabic, is about two words in the same time. You are black and you are a slave. As simple as that. So those who they are religious to humiliate themselves in front of God, they call themselves abd, which means in front of Allah, I am as if I am a black and a slave, which is a racist statement, because you are saying that I am the lowest of the lowest. But this is from the Arabic tradition. It's not only about Islam, it's about before Islam. And Muhammad father, his name is Abdullah. That is impossible. How his name is the slave of Allah, but yet you don't believe in Allah? What happened that the Muslims, they changed the name of Muhammad father from Abdullah to Abdullah. Abdullah makes sense. All the uncles of Muhammad, they are their names is Abdullah, Abdul Manaf, Abdul Uz, all the idols around the Kaaba. None of them is Allah. How come Muhammad father, his name is Abdullah, but yet he don't believe in Allah? So all the history of Muhammad is unknown. Who is Muhammad? We don't know. There's books written. Look, you see, if you go and read the Muslim, they say to you, we learn about Muhammad from the Sahih, from Ibn Kathir. Ibn Kathir is a person came hundreds of years after Muhammad. How you learn about Muhammad from Ibn Kathir? What about Sahih Bukhari? How many years Sahih Bukhari after Muhammad? How you can learn about a man from somebody came more than between 250 300 years after Sahih Bukhari, Al-Muslim, Al-Turmuzi, all those names came long after Muhammad. So how we will learn about Muhammad from them? And who is Muhammad? And why the Quran to tell us who is? How come the Quran have time to tell us that Abraham have sons and their name is Ishmael and Isaac and Jacob, but he don't tell us who is Muhammad? And how come the Quran sometimes he call him Muhammad, sometimes he call him Ahmad? What this confusion is about? Is his name is Muhammad or Ahmad? The fact, the Muslim, they will say to you, it's the same name. Why? It have the same meaning. What is the meaning? The praised one, obviously Muhammad is playing God. He changed his name from Qasim ibn Abdullah to be Ahmad and Muhammad. Actually, the Muslims, they believe that Muhammad have 99 names, the same as Allah. Imagine. He's equal to God. This is why the Muslims, they speak about monotheism, but in fact they associate the name of Muhammad with the name of Allah in everything they say. If you go and read the flag of ISIS, the flag of ISIS is what? The Shahad is Muhammad and Allah, two names in one line. It is the Muslims who they associate the name of a man with the name of God. Have you ever heard a Christian converting to Christianity? Somebody convert to Christianity, he says like associating many names with God? No, we don't do that. We have one God. How you believe in one God and then you say that I believe that there's no God but Allah and there's no and his prophet Muhammad? Allah have 124,000 prophets. Why Muhammad? Muhammad is the last prophet. Where it says and why? You see, Harun and Moses, both are prophets in the Quran. Okay, question. Why Allah he sent Moses and Harun in the same family as a prophet? I mean, why there was a lot of prophets in the same time, and suddenly Allah decided not to send any prophets after Muhammad? What happened? Strike? They say to you that the Quran says that Muhammad is the last prophet. Where it says that? It says here. Read with me. Are you stupid or what? Here we go. Let me show you the verse. The verse doesn't say that. ما كان محمد أبا أحد من رجالكم ولكن رسول الله وخاتم النبيين. All right. They say to you, here it says that Muhammad was not the father of any of your men. Why is that? Muhammad have tons of wives. Muhammad, he claimed that Allah, he sent him a dish of shish kebab to have a lot of sex. He got the power of 40 men. All those 40 men power, he could not have a baby. Actually, behind this, there is some mystery. Muhammad was not the father of any of your children, but he is the messenger of Allah, and he is the seal of the prophet. This is how the Muslim translate this verse. It is straight translation. You see, he is the seal of the prophets, but that doesn't say he is the last prophet. He is the seal of the prophet, you idiot. Mean that he is the one who agreed with all the prophets before him. Nowhere it says that he is the last messenger. Seal, you idiot, is in Arabic coming as a khatim. Khatim is a ring. This is what khatim means, ring. In the old days, they have a seal which is a ring. When they finish making a letter, he stamped the wax with his ring. This is his signature. So he is the seal of the prophets. What does that mean? He agreed with all the prophets who came from Allah before him. The Muslim, they translate this as, or to explain this verse as, he is the last prophet. And this is why I say always that Muslims are disconnected with their Quran and their religion. Everything in this book is funny and stupid. How many days Allah created the earth? Is it 6 days? I want to go back to the 6 days because we did not cover this issue with this guy who made fun of the Bible, speaking about the Bible speaking that God created the earth in 6 days, which is equal to 6,000 years. You know, for me, you can take always the words in the Bible in literate way, or if you want to, you know, you don't want to do that, don't do that. It's up to you. But for me, I believe the Bible is accurate about the creation of the earth. And when the Bible speak about that one day is equal to 1,000 years, sorry, 1,000 years for us is equal to 1 day for God. This is a prophet speaking about that time mean nothing to God. It's not really about a day. 6,000 years or even 24 hours. And for me, I don't really care, because at the end of the day, I believe that all the description, it was to make the creation of God simple. Imagine if God want to write for us a book about the creation of the fly. There's thousands of pages to be written. Those who study the eye, as an example of a human being, they have to study tons of books before they can open an eye clinic just about the eye. So imagine if God want to write for us books about his creation, and we have thousands if not millions of creations around us, and it's very complicated, the creation. The human alone, how many books God he will write for us to explain to us how he created us, the nerves, the vein, the eyes, the brain. I mean, it's amazing. So the creation story, it is to make it simple. It's not really meant to give details. That God created man disobeyed God, God provide him everything. The man, because he's greedy, still he's not happy, he's not satisfied. As simple as that. Otherwise, if we want to go in details, God, he will provide us endless numbers of books. The Earth was not created just like this. I mean, it's very complicated planet. The universe, the globe, the galaxies. It's amazing. We are just a little tiny dust in the universe. And this dust, this piece of dust, is full of creatures. So imagine how much complication we have. But as long the Muslims make fun of the Bible speaking about the 6 days creation, and they say the Bible says it is 6,000 years, but the Quran says that, Abdul. Let us go. Just to show you that the Muslims, they have no idea and they are not connected with their book. Let us see. يدبر الأمر من السماء إلى الأرض ثم يعرج إليه في يوم كان مقداره 1000 سنة مما تعدون. What does that mean? Translation. Chapter 32 verse number 5. Here it's make it clear that the day for Allah is 1,000 year of your timing. If this verse is not enough to prove it to you, we go to different verse. Let us continue. Hold on. Yeah, this is the same one. For some reason, the search engine is not working. If you read here, it shows us things we don't want. Yeah, and actually, this guy, he made fun of the Bible speaking about Noah. He lived for long in the Bible. Look what the Quran says about the age of Noah. Chapter 29, verse number 14. It says the following. You see, they make fun of the Bible, but they don't know what's written in their books. They are idiots. We once sent Noah to his people, and he etc. Okay, he lived, and he lived between them for 1,000 years less 50. Do you see it? So they make fun of the Christians about what's written about the Bible, about the age of people, how long they live, but they don't know what is written in their Quran because they are idiots. Every Muslim, he is a walking idiot. They don't know what is written in their books. They make fun of your book when they have in the same what they have in the Quran is a theft of what is written. Chapter 32 verse number 5, we show it to you. Here chapter 70 verse number 4, the Muslim, they say this verse is about that in the judgment day, the day will be equal to 50,000 years, but that will not make sense. The angels and the spirit ascend to him in the day the measure wherefore as a 50,000 years, but according to Muhammad, that the distance between the earth and the heaven is going to Allah and us is going to be closer, because Allah is going to warp the ground or the earth by his hand. So how the distance is increasing in the time of the judgment day? It doesn't make sense. The earth will be almost in the hand of Allah, and then he will grab it by his hand. So why is taking them 50,000 years in the judgment day to go to heaven, and before it take them 1,000 years? If we go here, Lord have mercy. Yeah, I think I need to try to find different website which is easier to find. Anyway, so if we go in the hadith to make it simple for the Abdul who's making fun of the Bible, the Muslim, they say to you, the Bible make it clear that the sun set and the sun rise, or they say it was night, it was day. Allah, God, he said this, and Allah, he said this. So they are saying the Quran is not saying the same as the Bible. The fact we will get them busted as we see here. Muhammad, he said. Remember carefully, Muhammad is the one who said that. I hope the Muslims who making fun of the Bible will read carefully with us. The Messenger of Allah said, who is the one talking? The Messenger of Allah. Show respect, please, Mr. Muhammadan. And he is the one who tell the truth, Muhammad. Remember that. Allah the Exalted declares, created the earth in Saturday, and the mountains in Sunday, and the trees on Monday, and things entirely in labor on Tuesday, light in Wednesday. And remember, the Muslim, they made fun of the Bible, says the Bible says that God created sun in Wednesday. Are you stupid Christians? You see, if you go and watch Didat himself, who the Muslims worship and they think he's a big shot, this idiot, he do not know that his prophet said that too. So when Didat and Zakir Naik making fun of the Bible for God saying that he created the sun in Wednesday, as they say, why didn't make fun of their prophet? Because automatically you are making fun of your prophet. But this is what happened. When Didat he debate people who do not know Islam. If Didat was debating me, I would say, are you sure this is stupid? He would say, yes. I said, thank you very much. You just admitted that your prophet is stupid too. He would say to me, why? Why you say so? This is your prophet saying that. You're a prophet saying that the first thing Allah created, it was the earth. Actually, it doesn't say the earth, by the way. In Arabic, it says at-turba, the sand, in Saturday, and the mountains in Sunday. وَخَلَقَ الشَّجَرَ يَوْمَ الْإِثْنَيْنَ وَخَلَقَ الْمَكْرُوهُ يَوْمَ الثُّلَاثَاءِ, etc. So the first thing he created, it was the sand on Saturday, then the mountains on Sunday, and then the trees on Monday, and then the evil in Tuesday, and the light in Wednesday, and he spread the animals of all kind in Thursday, and he created Adam in the afternoon on Friday. Are you telling me the Muslims, they lie, they say to us, oh, the Quran, when the Quran says 6 days, it means 6 periods. 6 periods? Don't you see it says Monday, Sunday, Saturday, and it says Friday afternoon he created Adam? Why they lie? You see, me as a believer, there is things the science cannot explain to me. As an example, when the Christians believe that Mary was a virgin, I mean, science, there's no point of that. I mean, well, science, according to science, women, she cannot get pregnant by herself. As simple as that. So either you're a believer or you believe in the science. The Muslims, they never made fun of Mary being virgin. Why? Because it's mentioned in the Quran. If the Quran never mentioned that Mary was virgin, the Muslim will be making fun of you day and night. They will humiliate you. You see the hypocrisy of this cult? Just because their prophet said Mary was virgin, no Muslim make fun of it. But does that make sense? No, it doesn't make sense. I mean, why Mary was virgin? Who wanna tell me why? What is the purpose of Mary being virgin for Islam? Nothing. For the Christians, we know why. Because Jesus is the son of no man. For he is coming from above. For he is God in flesh. That makes sense. But in Islam, why Mary she gave a birth for a son who is not a son of any man? They can't explain. Because it simply is a theft. And because Muhammad is a thief, whatever the thief he said, the Muslims agree, and nobody complain about it. But no Muslim can explain to us why Mary was virgin. They make fun of your Bible, but what is they are making fun of, as you see in the front of your eyes, is mentioned by their prophet. According to Muhammad, Allah created the sun in Wednesday, but this is a contradiction for the Quran. And by the way, the Quran contradicts the Quran about that. As an example, which one Allah created first, the sun or the dust? If we go here as an example, in this verse, I know that the topic became complicated, but guys, the more we learn, this is what like, I mean, knowledge come. We talk about things and more information come. It's like a flow of information, which is good. Here in this chapter in front of us, chapter 41, read from verse number 9, 11, 10, 11, etc. Read them. It says here that the last thing Allah He created, it was the sky. The sky was smoke. Read carefully. Say is that ye deny Him who created the earth in 2 days. So look what the Quran says. The Quran claimed that Allah created the earth in 2 days, but Muhammad, he said that he created the earth in Saturday. Do you see it? Now look, hold on. The Muslim, they will say to you, no. He said he created the earth in Saturday and mountains in Sunday. Okay, I will let it go. What about the trees? What about the evil? What about the animals? Let us continue reading. So he created the earth in 2 days. All right, and then he set on earth mountains standing firm. According to Islam, mountains, Allah He placed it on the earth. This is stupid. Mountains are not something to place. It's coming from inside the magma. Mountains is not a foreign object. We place it in the top of the earth. So according to the Quran, Allah He set the earth and on the earth mountains standing firm, and that was in 4 days, and He created all things in 4 days. So now we have 2 days here, 4 days here. This is 6 days. And then here translation is a lie. It says moreover. It doesn't say that. Verse number 11, it's a lie. If you change the translator, you will see it says clearly that not moreover, and after that, or then he went to the heaven, then he turned to the heaven. You see? So after he finished the earth, all the earth, then he went to the heaven, and at that point the heaven was a smoke. The heaven was a smoke. Do you see it? Which means there's no sun. So now 6 days went by, and yet there is no sun, according to this chapter. If we go to different verse, you will see the contradiction immediately. Read carefully with me. In chapter 2, verse number 29, it says, هو الذي خلق لكم ما في الأرض جميعا ثم استوى إلى السماء فسواهن سبع. This verse confirmed the verse we read. This verse confirm it. It says that Allah He created everything in the earth first. Everything first. Which means before even He created the sky. It is He who created for you all things that on earth. And then He went to the sky and He made them 7. Okay, let us continue. Different verse. Oh boy. No, hold on. If we go to this chapter here, which is one of the funniest, chapter 79, verse number 30, it says the following, and you can read any translation you wish. Look how the order of creation changed. Read carefully. According to this verse, Allah created the heaven first. and he finished the heaven first. Remember, this is chapter 79. Let's go back. Chapter 79, and you can read a few verses after, a few verses before. So if we go to Yusuf Ali translation, read carefully with me. What are ye more difficult to create, or the heaven above? So starting here is a creation of the heaven. Then on high had he raised its canopy, and he has given it order in perfection. So now the heaven is created first, and he gave us perfection. And then he made the night and the darkness, which is very stupid, because darkness is not need to be created. And then after that, you see here it says moreover. It's false. It doesn't say moreover. It says and after that. Change the translation, you will see how the translator, he play games. And after that. Do you see it? So based on chapter 79, the sky was completed. Everything in the sky is completed. And after that, Allah start working in the earth. Read carefully. I mean, just to print the two pages, two chapters, chapter 79 and chapter 41, print them and make the papers next to each other. Here it says that Allah, he created the heaven first. He finished the heaven. He make it perfect. He gave it the dark and the light. And then the earth, he expanded after that. Actually, expanded here is about making it flat. And then he brought forth the water. So the water came after the sun and the light. And the mountain, he made it firm, and that's mean the mountains came after the sun and the light and the stars. But this is total contradiction for what is written here. In the other chapter, it was the opposite. It was the earth in 2 days, and then the mountains he placed it firm, and whatever substance in the top of it in 4 days. And then after that, then he turned to the heaven, and it was a smoke, which means there's nothing. And then after that, he made light. Read carefully with me. Then he ordered them 7 heaven in 2 days, etc., etc. Okay, and then he says, and then he made all the order, the measuring, etc., and he made the darkness and the night, and he finished everything. So it is a total contradiction. Where is the make sense book, and where is the book of confusion free? I can keep going and give you endless numbers of confusion. We started from page number 1, and we can go to page number. What about to go to the last page in the Quran? I mean, because there's no different. You see, this book, the Quran, if you start reading from the last page or the first page, there's no difference, because there's no connection between the chapter. And I showed you an example. If you go in the Quran as an example here, if we go here, where it says, today I complete your religion for you. This is chapter 5, verse number 3, and we mentioned it before. When the author of the Quran, he said, today I completed your religion for you. This day I have perfected your religion for you, completed my favor upon you. This verse, in order to be clear and good, it have to be the last verse in the Quran. It's like, you know, me, if you read my books, I say thank you guys for reading my book. Don't forget to read volume number 2. Make sense. Or like, let us say you're making a film, you say volume number 1, part number 1, part number 2. It makes sense. But here, this day I have perfected your religion for you, completed my favor upon you this day. But this is chapter 3, verse number 7, chapter 7, verse number 3. What do you mean this day? Who inserted this verse there? This verse, in order to make sense, and only to make sense, it's going to be the last verse in the Quran. Otherwise, based on this verse, everything after this verse now, all the chapters after are fabrication, because today is the original complete perfected. That's it. We do not need all of this Quran. What for? Who need it? Nobody. All of this is fake. If you just told me that today I perfected the religion for you, why you are giving me the rest of the Quran then? This day, you see, he is not making just a statement about like just teaching. This day, have I perfected your religion for you, completed my favor. The favor of Allah is completed. How in the world this happen? And why it's complete? Because he said to us, don't eat pork. This is stupid. What eating pork have to do with completing religion? Is the religion of Islam is just about not to eat pork and that's it, it's completed? And by the way, the same verse in the front of us here says that you can eat pork. Yes, it says that. It says at the end of the day, if you are hungry, you can eat all those things. So I forbid you from eating this and this and this and this and this, but if you are hungry, you can eat everything, which means all the Muslims believe that is haram and halal is a joke. You can eat anything you want. So when somebody tried to present me Islam that it is religion have rules, Muhammad was trying to make rules, trying to copy the Jews. The Jews, he noticed the Jews don't eat pork. Okay, we don't eat pork. But he could not follow the Jews perfectly because simply it's going to be hard. The Arab, they like to eat meat camel. They like to, they don't have many choices. The Jews are farmers. They grow, they are smart people, they have farms. During the time of Muhammad, Al-Medina, which is Yathrib, Muhammad, he stole it, he killed the Jews, he took the city, was a big farm. Even the hadith books speaking about how many trees the Jews have. Why the Jews have a lot of trees? Because they are smart. If you go right now in Israel and you cross the border to Egypt, you will see Egypt is total desert, Israel as if it is heaven. Why? Because they knew how to plant in the desert. They are smart people. You cross the street from Israel to Gaza, you will find yourself like as if you are crossing to different galaxy. Why? You see, the Israeli are a small population, small tiny population. We can't even compare them to the Muslims. We are talking about 6 millions. 2 millions of Israel are Arab, which means the left is 4 millions. Those all are those who make Israel. So why that the 4 millions they can do what a billion cannot do? Very simple, because you know the problem is not the land, the problem is the people. This cult, this religion, if you take Islam to heaven, heaven will become garbage. You will see candy cans, garbage, everybody and everywhere in the street. You know, if you go right now to any Islamic countries, like I saw some of you are excited about Dubai. Dubai is clean because the one who take care of Dubai is the foreigners. The total number of Muslims in Dubai is not even 2%. This is the truth. The majority are non-Muslims, and this is why Dubai is Dubai today. Everything done in Dubai is not by the people of Dubai. British companies, Canadian companies, American companies, Indian companies, you name it. Where is the people of Emirat? You don't even, you walk in the street, you don't find them. Until now, a huge number of the majority of the population in Saudi Arabia do not know how to read, how to write. What is the last discovery made by, if we can call Islamic countries as an example? The Iranians are so proud about their weapon. They say they have weapon, but 99% of it is Russian parts. They bring parts, they put it together in Iran by the hired Russian technicians, and yet they claim that this is an Iranian missiles. Until now, America itself buying technology from Israel. Every computer chip you have, the chip is made in Israel. Every microwave. This is small, tiny country. The first people who made nuclear bombs, they were Jews. This is the truth. What is the last phone made by Muslims? Anybody tell me? I saw an article, a Muslim, he's saying that what his name, the owner of Apple, is a Muslim. This guy, he is a son of a Syrian guy. He never been a Muslim. He make fun of, oh, he don't care for religion. He grew in a house which is a Christian house, and he was adopted by a Christian family. And nothing in his death, and nothing in his life, and nothing in his marriage have to do with Islam. But now, because they are desperate to find something that to be, you know, why we cannot find something good in this religion? We cannot find something good about Muhammad. We cannot be proud about Muhammad. He was a child molester. So what we would do? We claim that Shakespeare was Muslim. I mean, can you believe that Shakespeare was a Muslim? Yes, this is what they say. Bernard Shaw, he said articles about the Prophet. They make lies because they are desperate. The same now, we see those articles in the internet trying to fool you, saying to you the Quran is a clear book. What is clear about the Quran? What is clear in the message of God, who says to me, if you pray to me 5 times a day, I'm going to give you a lot of women and their legs will be wide open. I mean, are you stupid or what? Forget about everything. Forget about contradiction of science. Forget about the stupidity of Muhammad. Forget about everything. What kind of religion promise me if I pray to God 5 times will give me endless number of women have no panties? And not only that, Allah will make them virgin each time I have sex with them. I mean, is that really a religion? Are you convinced now? What about God? He promised me little boys to be my slaves for eternity in heaven. Is that the ethic? Is that religion? Is that God? In the heaven, I will be sitting on my sofa, and little boys will be serving me, and they will be going around me, and those boys are naked and so sexy. What is that? This is disgusting. This is literally disgusting. If you are searching for God, search for a true God. This is God. This is vagina vendor. This is vagina vendor. This is pimp. This is how you know what they call it, whorehouse. This is not heaven. And look here, they put for you between two bracket handsome. Are you worried about their looking? What handsome? I will have handsome. They are male servant. They are boys. And why they are young male? I mean, what is that? Allah, cannot you make for us a computer? This computer will not be human, it's a machine. What young male? It says a gulman, young boys. And those are like pearls. Why? Because this cult with whiteness, they don't like black people. It's as simple as that. They have obsession with white skin. So in the heaven, I will have women who I can see through their bones. Look like we have difficulty in the podcast. I don't know. What's wrong with people? You know, when I choose something to believe in, reason to believe, and I cannot find reason to believe in any. Is my broadcast, guys, is keep coming? It is seeing. I don't know what's happening here. I hope I did not lose connection. I'm not sure. Maybe I lost connection. All right, guys. I hope my voice still coming. I apologize. There was a difficulty. Uh, anyway, I think we have enough for today. Looked like my internet went off for a little bit, and I had to restart my modem in order to fix it here. So I want to say thank you for listening, and I hope maybe in 2 days from now we will do another podcast. I will announce about it when it's ready. But just to make it simple, any religion always take the end of it from the reward. If the reward is about sex, if the end is about sex, what is the beginning? If the reward is about little boys in my lap, little boys to serve me for eternity, and they are naked and they are handsome and they are white, women who they are made for sex, what kind of cult this cult is? What kind of God he promised me such a promise? The gift of a person, speak of him. If you come to my house and you have a book to teach me about mathematics, obviously you like mathematics. If you come to my house and you have flowers in your hand, obviously you love a flower. If you come to my house and you have 80,000 servant who they are naked boys and 80,000 female who they are naked, I can see their bones, obviously you are a sex addicted God. The Muslim, they say to you, Allah, he promised people what they like. That is a stupid answer, because obviously this is what he like. For God can make us like things higher than sex. He is the one who created sex, but the creation of sex was exist to make a family, to grow in number, to populate. Sex in heaven for what? Pleasure of sex was for a reason. If a human being, he don't have a pleasure for sex, he will not have sex, and then he will not have babies, and then mankind will disappear. Sex was not created for the purpose of sex. It was for the creation or reproduction. But because this cult is all about sexuality and have nothing inside, nothing real, it ended in such a way. So I don't know if my broadcast right now is working or not. I want to stop in here. I want to say thank you guys for being here. May the Lord bless you. Until we see you again, Christ is Lord, Islam is false. Amen to that. See you soon again. Bye-bye.